All right, so what's going on here? Well, I call it McShay's blunder, okay? That is Bishop McShay, the first bishop of the Diocese of Allentown, who, when the diocese was founded sometime in the 60s, I don't know. Are we approaching an anniversary? I think 60 years or something? Was it?
It was in 61.
Okay, yeah, so we're at 60 years now, I guess. Okay, there you go. She knows more about the diocese than I do. So 60 years ago, on this date, he thought it would be a great idea to install St. Catherine's in Allentown was a parish for the Archdiocese of Philadelphia. And then when he was named bishop, they decided that would be the Cathedral Church. So to make it a cathedral, to dedicate it to that purpose, he thought, well, hey, it's St. Catherine of Siena, so let's do it on April 29th, the feast day of St. Catherine of Siena, which sounded great on paper, but we're living the issue right now because especially at parishes named St. Catherine of Siena, the one in Allentown, the one in Reading, which I happen to be at both of them as a priest, ironically, they can't celebrate her feast day today, okay? Instead, they have to celebrate this day of the dedication, the anniversary of the dedication of the cathedral. So that then begs the question, well, why is this so important then, right? That's the whole issue behind this. So let's draw a comparison to the Acts of the Apostles that we've been going throughout this Easter season. What's starting to happen now and what will continue to happen in the Acts of the Apostles from this point forward is that St. Paul, who's going to be the central focus from really this point forward in the Acts of the Apostles, he's going to go around the Mediterranean region, and what is he going to do? He's going to start churches. He's going to quote unquote, they didn't use the word yet, but it's going to be what? He's going to form dioceses. So we just heard about what great work him and Barnabas were doing in Antioch. Today's first reading, which I have to confess I prepared for last night from the Acts of the Apostles, not this. This is kind of a surprise for me. They're going then up into Asia Minor, and they're going to preach, and they're going to find dioceses. And how do they do that? Well, when they leave, they put someone in charge. They're going to say really what they're doing is they're making bishops, okay? So maybe the one we're most famous with would be Timothy and Titus, whom St. Paul writes letters to, and that are part of our New Testament canon. He's going to write letters to them, encouraging them and guiding them and stuff like that. But they're essentially bishops, okay? Successor of the apostles, that's very important. I'm not a successor of the apostles, but Bishop Slurt is, okay, has a bishop. Okay, they're successor of the apostles. The apostles are important. Why? Because it's from them through which Jesus bestows his Spirit. Okay, so he, in John chapter 20, breathes on them, gives them the power to forgive sins. Okay, in John chapter 17, which we're going to see in the 7th week of Easter, coming up real soon, he's going to consecrate them. Very important word, to set apart. He's making them priests. He's making them bishops, okay, in our thing. So now, each diocese has a bishop. There's many dioceses that don't have a bishop because he retired or, got transferred, yada, yada. We went through a period like that just recently when John Barris got moved to Long Island, New York. We didn't have a bishop for a bunch of months. I forget how long it was. But still, we kind of experienced that there was something missing, okay? The bishop, the priest, the deacons, and all the baptized in the area become a sacred sign of the mystical body of Christ, okay, which we call the church, okay? We call this a church because it's a sign, not a sign in its fullness, but it's a sign of, again, the mystical body of Christ. So notice the important key in all this is what? The union of the baptized with Christ. Okay? The church is important, whether it's this church, the Cathedral Church, or the Universal Church. It's all important because of the indwelling of the Spirit that we have within us in our souls, what we have in the real presence of the Eucharist in each and every church. And then in that indwelling is what? Well, from our gospel reading, the fourth option that I had, the purpose of what? It's all about worship. Okay? That Jesus, the Spirit, comes, and Jesus acts now, has that great high priest who is then sacramentally present within the bishop. We're united to the bishop in our common belief, in our common baptism. The bishop has that sacramental presentation of Jesus Christ, also offers worship to the Father, and we unite ourselves in that worship with the bishop. And again, the primary place of that, the sign of that, is at that Cathedral Church in Allentown. We here in Frankfurt are an extension of that, because we all can't go to Allentown every morning to celebrate Mass, and we all can't go to Allentown on Sunday morning. You know, not all 230,000 Catholics in the diocese can do that. Okay? So that's the importance of it. And I think, especially as Americans, we love all about individuality, and it's all about, you know, just me and Jesus, which that is an important aspect of it. But we also got to remember the broader aspect in this, that as God saves us, not only does it save us as individuals, but it's this whole process and mentality of saving us as a people, you know, that the bond that we have with each other, the bond that we have with God is also meant to extend horizontal as well, you know, in our worship of God. And so that is what it is in a nutshell. You know, the dedication of the cathedral, the significance of it is all about an important reminder of the indwelling of God within us. And also then from that, our true and authentic worship of God. May God bless you.